Hello there, Wisecrack Nation. It's your boy Natty coming to you from out the Speed Force for a new review of The Flash. So far, we're on Season 5, Episode 6, The Icicle Cometh. It's about your girl Caitlin this time. So I wonder what trouble she's gonna get into to get Killer Frost back into her life. It looks like we're getting a sighting of Cicada after a young girl exits Jitters. He decides to attack her in the parking lot because she's a meta. But what he doesn't know that this girl can defend herself as she makes two swords come out of her hands like she's a freaking ninja slicer. Unfortunately, he kills her after she cuts him wide open, but hey, you should have known it's Cicada. Well, it seems like Team Flash has a plan on how to finally track down Cicada as they have their new satellite systems up and working, and they figure out that the best way to track him is through the dark matter that his weapon transmits. And what's really interesting, since they're splitting up, Nora actually wants to go with her mother. So since everybody split up with something to do, it seems that Barry and Cisco confronted Caitlin to let her know, hey, we figured out where your father may be at one of the black sites. Wow, the fact that Ralph went over to Joe's house looking for Joe to be his partner and got Cecile instead is amazing. Because like I said last week, Cecile is going up and up and up and earning more points. She told Ralph before they leave, let her go ahead and pump. And he didn't figure out that she meant breast milk. Oh man, that's just hilarious. Well, it looks like Caitlin, Barry, and Cisco are going to the North Pole because that's where her father, well, basically is and has been for the past 20 years. And once they get there, surprise, 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 we see that he's still alive. Wow, I feel so good for Caitlin right about now. She's found her father at long last. It's pretty cool to see that Caitlyn's, reconnecting with her father after seeing him after 20 years to come to find out the only reason that he survived so long is the fact that he's had a cryogenic chamber which he spent time in, rations and food, water, and to come to find out that Harrison Wells and Victor Freeze, aka Mr. Freeze, has helped them with uplinks and keeping a watch on Star Labs. That's very interesting to hear about. But I feel really bad for Cecilia when she's teamed up with Ralph because she claimed to be, the best and strong and intimidating. But when going to meet the FEMA director, she's lost her mojo. Like, she's been out of action too long. But hopefully she can get it back in order to get the information that Ralph needs. Which leads to later on when Barry, Cisco, and Caitlin divide back to Star Labs along with Caitlin's father. I guess Caitlin decides, hey, it's best to take my father out on a walk and reconnect with him, just like Barry did with Nora when she first came back from the future. But Cisco seems a little out of place when he thinks about the story that Caitlin's father told about how he got trapped up there and why he's been up there so long. And what I find really hysterical is that when Sherlock, Iris, and Nora go to the scene of the dark particle accelerator possibility, that Nora wants to stay with her mother so she could see her interviewing skills and spend time with her. You're telling me it took 5 episodes in for Nora to actually want to spend time with her mother? Oh my goodness, it finally seemed like she learned her some respect. Luckily, Sherlock has figured it out and has a solution for how Nora and Iris can come together and spend time and get to know each other better. I guess Sherlock really is the greatest detective there is. Now, the most interesting development is while Caitlin is out walking around the park with her father, he starts to, well, it seems like seize up a little bit, and she goes to check up on him to make sure he's alright. This man is turning into a human icicle during the day in the middle of a sunny park. How is that possible? Well, we come to find out how Caitlin came about her powers and why Killer Frost exists, because at one point when she was younger, she had the same disease as her father, and her father wanted to do what's best for her, experimented on her, and in order to get rid of her disease, he in fact made Killer Frost. So Caitlin wouldn't have to go through what he has to go through with his pain and facing possible death. Now you're telling me that Caitlin, Barry, and Cisco are gonna hack the DOD in order to get help to how to figure out how to save Caitlin's father? Oh crap. Now we're breaking rules? Let's go Team Flash. Now, what really gets me is the fact that we're at the hospital where they're going to see the doctor who helps Cicada with his daughter, and she's telling him that he needs to stop or he's going to wind up getting himself killed. All because she, I guess, has a hatred towards metas as well. I mean, come on now, you're a doctor. You're supposed to value all life and you're trying to help kill people? Oh, there's something wrong with that right there. And then I guess Cicada in his scary Batman voice says that she doesn't get out of his way, he's gonna do something, what, bad? I mean, hell, that Christian Bale voice that you use, oh, get out of my way, was bad enough already. But the good thing to come out of all this is that Cecile has figured out why she wasn't able to get the FEMA guy to give her the list of names that Ralph needs, because her powers of empath were working, but it was just that she was exhibiting the feelings of the FEMA director instead of realizing it before she left. So now they have to make a new plan to go back and get the names that she needs. But the one thing I consider really funny is the fact that Ralph helped her figure it out, and he does that little nose wiggle thing of his. And Cecile says to never do that again because that's just nasty. And it is that nasty. What I find really comforting is that Sherlock takes them to the site of a possible place where the dark matter core may be that Cicada's lightning bolt came from. And while there, he's making tea and singing, which is pissing off Nora and Iris, but is entirely funny because he's singing it in French. But that causes Nora and Iris to come up with a plan after they realize that that's where Cicada might have gotten his powers from, because there was a carnival there a few months ago, and that's where one of the pieces of dark matter may have fallen. Well, it seems that Cisco has the idea of going back to the North Pole to go to the lab where Caitlin's father had been for 20 years, and after going there, he accidentally vibes on a canister that Caitlin's father came in contact with that had a caution sticker on it to see that Caitlin's father might have been doing something he shouldn't have been. It seems that Cisco may have made a discovery when coming back from the North Pole. He found skin grafts there to confirm that Caitlin's father may have a dual personality after all. Instead of just being Caitlin's father, he also has a freeze personality as well. But Caitlin, being the emotional woman that she is, doesn't want to hear from Cisco. And Barry doesn't want to believe him either, but Cisco convinces him to think like a CSI and think of all the possibilities. Oh man, that's why they say behind every strong man there's a strong woman. Cecile proved how valuable she is to the team, and not only did she get the names that Ralph needs, she got the FEMA guy in trouble because he's been pocketing money from the people that he's supposed to be helping and went and got himself a Lamborghini. Really? A Lamborghini? Jesus, you're stupid. He's as dumb as Peter is in a Family Guy flashback. Well, I guess Cicada's dying, because after just a few moments of watching him, he falls over like a tree in the forest. Well, it seems that Cisco was right when saying Caitlin's father had a dual personality, because not only is he crazy, he suffocated Barry, Cisco, and Caitlin by freezing the liquid in their lungs and making them pass out. That's a scary thing to have to go through. Great, just great. Now Caitlin's father has become another homicidal ICE villain. I guess the team decides to go to stop him, but the first two down are the speedsters, as we know that ice and speed don't mix. And when Cisco and Caitlin and Ralph come in, they're taken down automatically because it's too cold for them to move anything in their bodies, period. Welcome back, Killer Frost makes her return after the threat of losing her friends and Team Flash, and now she's gonna take on her father. This is gonna be one hell of a fight. I like the fact that Caitlin starts to beat the crap out of her father with frozen ice gloves, but I can't believe she fell for that weak ploy. Oh, Dad, get back to normal. No, Dad is playing you big time. It's too bad that Caitlin's father got away, but she has the reassurance in knowing that her team is there for her as her new family. Well, back at the lab, we finally found out that Caitlin's father has left Central City, so there's no point in trying to track him now. But we also made a new discovery. The reason why Caitlin thought Killer Frost was gone from her this entire time. It wasn't that her powers were stripped away or taken. DeVoe put a mental barrier block in place in order for her not to connect to Killer Frost. So Cisco and Barry have a plan. They're gonna use Harry's mental activity dampener to allow Caitlin to talk to Killer Frost and have them communicate to the point of where they won't need it anymore, and they could transform back willingly, hopefully. And luckily for Cisco, Ira, Nora, and Sherlock have found the original satellite's heart that Cisco had been missing so much, and to come to find out, that's where Cicada's lightning bolt came from. But not only that, Cecile and Ralph have narrowed down the list of who Cicada's daughter is and have got a plan to find out where Cicada is. And what I find very rare and funny is that the doctor from the hospital has gone to visit Cicada to see that not only is he not in pain, but the scar on his chest is making him stronger, along with giving him more powers, because he does a Superman move and stands up and says, I'm getting stronger. Oh boy, this is gonna be epic. Well, Wisecrack Nation, for now, I'm gonna go ahead back into the Speed Force because this episode of The Flash has just been draining and confusing all at the same time, but fun nonetheless. I hope to see you all next time. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe for this video, and remember always to crack wise.